Hello and welcome to Rise and Unwind Orlando. We're that show where we talk to experts from across the country about things you could do right here in your neighborhood. And on this week's show, we got this.
One of the great things about being an actor is that you are challenged by new things all the time. You know, so often the character will do something that you have no idea how to do, and suddenly you'll find yourself taking piano lessons, or learning how to rock climb, or doing something completely different.
Each of those winners is going to receive $40,000 in local advertising and marketing.
All of that and more right here in Rise and Unwind.
Ever feel overwhelmed trying to make sense of the Medicare options? Every fall, millions of Americans get a short window to review their coverage, and this year brings some important changes that could save money and expand benefits. Joining us today is John Jackson, Director at CarePlus Health Plans, to help make sense of Medicare's annual enrollment period and what's new for 2026. Welcome, John.
Thank you. I'm really happy to be here.
First, when exactly is the Medicare annual enrollment period, and what does it mean for people with Medicare?
That's a great question. So the annual enrollment period is October 15th till December 7th. This is the opportunity for everyone, the primary opportunity for everyone who has Medicare to shop around, review coverage options out there, think about their healthcare needs, and just make the best decision.
Can you break down the main types of Medicare plans and how they differ?
Absolutely. So there are two main ways to get Medicare coverage. The first way I'll mention is Original Medicare. That's from the government. It consists of two parts. Part A, which is typically hospital insurance, and Part B, which is medical insurance. If you need drug coverage, you can buy a separate prescription drug plan. And typically, your hospitals or doctors are accepted as long as they accept Medicare. The second option is a Medicare Advantage plan offered through companies like CarePlus. With the Medicare Advantage plan, you receive all benefits of Original Medicare and often receive additional coverage such as dental, vision, and prescription drug. Typically, your doctors, your healthcare facilities would have to be in the plan's network.
What are some key things people should be looking for when reviewing their coverage or switching plans?
Really, really, really important question. Think about your healthcare needs. Think about services that are important to you, be it vision, hearing, dental, prescription drug. Think about your preferred doctors, your hospitals, your pharmacies, the ones that you enjoy going to. And think about costs. So think about plan deductibles and copays, max out-of-pockets. Think about services that are offered by the plan that are important to you.
Are there any major Medicare changes coming in 2026 that people should know about?
There absolutely are. There's quite a few updates. The first update I'll mention is specific to people who have prescription drug coverage. So the annual maximum Part D drug costs for the new year will be $2,100. There's also some key changes as a result of the Inflation Reduction Act that are still in place. One of them caps monthly insulin costs at $35. There's another which provides a zero copay for recommended Part D vaccines. There's also some new rules in place that were recently introduced to help speed up the approval process for medical treatments. And this just makes it easier for beneficiaries to access the care that they need. The last change I'll mention is the Medicare Advantage, some of the changes to the Medicare Advantage supplemental benefits, like food assistance, transportation, and in-home support. There's some new eligibility requirements that have been introduced, so you absolutely want to make sure you review your plan's benefits.
How is CarePlus helping people navigate these updates and compare their options?
Here at CarePlus, we provide a ton of educational resources. We host events out in the community. We actually have material in multiple languages, including English, Spanish, and Creole. We also have our CarePlus licensed agents that are available to help you both in person and over the phone. And the last thing I'll mention is we actually have a partnership with the Department of Children and Family, which allows us to help anyone, both members and non-members. And we have the ability to check Medicaid eligibility, as well as help individuals apply for Medicaid and SNAP benefits.
That's so awesome. Finally, where can our viewers go to find more information about Medicare plans and benefits?
Great question. Beneficiaries can visit the government website at medicare.gov. You can also go on our CarePlus website, which is careplushealthplans.com, or you can call a licensed agent at 1-855-450-1352. And TTY users can call 711.
John, thanks for talking with us today and all the great information.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
You know, small businesses really keep our communities going, from local cafes to family startups. And now a national program is shining a spotlight on the people behind that success. Joining us today is Caitlin Matalone, Head of Small Businesses, Communications, and Advocacy at Gusto, to tell us how the Gusto Impact Awards are celebrating entrepreneurs across the country. Hi, Caitlin.
Hey, how are you?
Doing well, thanks. We've seen so many new small businesses open up lately. What does that say about the state of entrepreneurship in America right now?
I think what it says is there's nothing small about small business. Small businesses have a big impact on our lives, on the community, society, the economy. In fact, there are 33 million, if you can believe it, small businesses across the US, and that makes up 99% of all businesses across the country. And to your point, yes, we are seeing this surge in entrepreneurship. 5 million small businesses got their start just this past year. And it's a trend that I don't see going away anytime soon. So I really feel like the future of business in the US is small.
In what ways does Gusto see small businesses having a lasting impact on their local communities?
I think if you asked anyone that you met walking down the street, they'd be able to pinpoint a small business that really means a lot to them, that had a meaningful impact on their lives and on their communities, whether it's, the local coffee shop where the barista knows your order by heart, or a local art gallery where they're giving local artists their very first big break. Small businesses really are the backbone of our communities and the economy, and we need to have their backs.
So tell us more about these Gusto Impact Awards. What are they all about, and how can a small business owner get involved?
So excited to talk to you about the Gusto Impact Awards. So we really feel like small businesses deserve to be celebrated. They deserve to be recognized for the place that they hold in our lives and also the impact that they have on their communities. And that's what the Gusto Impact Awards are all about, is celebrating these small business owners that are doing so much for all of us. All the details for this contest are at gusto.com/win. And the applications are actually open right now. You can go ahead and fire up your laptop and start applying right this very minute if you wanted to. And they close on November 21st. So we can't wait to read these submissions. We get incredible stories from small business owners talking about who they are, what they do, who they serve, and the impact they make. And so I can't wait to read through all of the incredible award submissions that we're going to be receiving this year.
Let's talk prizes now. Let's get real. What do the winners receive, and how has this program helped other entrepreneurs in the past?
Yes, let's get into the good stuff. So this year it's a nationwide contest, and out of that nationwide applicant pool, we're going to be choosing 5 regional winners. And each of those winners is going to receive $40,000 in local advertising and marketing, $10,000 of cash, and free Gusto payroll services for a year. So we're thrilled. We can't wait to see who our winners are this year, and can't wait to deliver those huge Ed McMahon style checks to these winners. I'm very excited about it.
Well, I'm about to go start a small business myself. So where do I need to go to apply after, I get my small business? Where do I need to go to get more information or apply for this prize?
Well, start your small business. And then the second thing you do after starting up is definitely apply. And it's gusto.com/win.
Excellent. Caitlin, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks so much for having me on.
Living with back pain could do more than just slow you down. It could wear you down mentally too. A new national survey from Boston Scientific found that nearly 3 out of 4 people living with chronic low back pain says it impacts their mental health. So joining us today is Dr. Sarah Nashi, an interventional pain medicine specialist, here to share why the emotional side of chronic pain deserves just as much attention as the physical side. Welcome to the show, Dr. Nashi. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so we often think of back pain as like a physical issue. What does the survey reveal about how it affects the mental health?
Yeah, most people are familiar with the physical symptoms of chronic low back pain, but the impact goes beyond the physical symptoms, as it can erode into independence, identity, and emotional well-being. And I'm working with Boston Scientific to raise awareness about a recent survey which revealed 7 in 10 individuals coping with chronic low back pain also grapple with mental health challenges such as anxiety, depression, and hopelessness. And I see this in my clinic every day. According to the survey, 75% say no, they no longer feel like they're the same person as they were before their back pain. And nearly 2/3 have never sought psychological support despite reporting emotional burdens or just feeling plain overwhelmed. And about half have lived with chronic low back pain for more than 2 years. So you can see that this is a big issue.
What are some of the biggest emotional or day-to-day struggles that you see among some of your patients dealing with chronic pain?
Yeah, emotional anxiety, depression, struggling with ADLs. There are treatment options for these patients, and waiting 2 years is why I'm passionate here to bring awareness for our for people out there to just know there are options. And I wanted to share 2 of those options with you today, working with Boston Scientific. Spinal cord stimulation, it's also known as SCS. And this is an option for people that are experiencing chronic pain in the back, legs, and feet. SCS works to interrupt pain signals on the way to the brain with mild impulses that are emitted from like a small device that's implanted under the skin. In addition, we know that there's 1 in 6 people that suffer from vertebrogenic back pain, and that's more low back pain that's caused from damage to parts of the spine called the vertebral end plates. And this damage can develop over time through wear and tear on your back, and it comes from daily activities, just like prolonged riding in the car or putting on your socks. And the Intracept procedure, it works by using targeted radio frequency energy to stop the basivertebral nerve from carrying those pain signals to the brain. It's a one-time procedure and there's no implantation. And I think it's just really critical that people out there know these therapy options are available for them.
And every treatment comes with pros and cons. What should patients know before deciding what's right for them?
Yeah, well, spinal cord stimulation, it's drug-free, it's FDA approved, it's clinically proven to provide long-term relief for chronic pain syndromes. Boston Scientific's SCS system is indicated for people with failed back surgical syndrome, painful diabetic neuropathy in the lower extremities, complex regional pain syndrome, radicular pain syndromes. The Intracept procedure is safe, minimally invasive for vertebrogenic low back pain. But as any medical procedure, it always involves risks. So it's important to consult your doctor or a pain management specialist to find out more if spinal cord stimulation or the Intracept procedure might be right for you. And a full discussion of the precautions, risks, and benefits can be found on pain.com.
Dr. Nashi, thanks for joining me today. One more time, can you tell us where people could go to learn more about managing chronic pain and the available therapies that are there?
Yeah, visit pain.com to learn more about chronic pain treatment options, including SCS and the Intracept procedure. And for an overview of indications, precautions, and risks involving Boston Scientific's therapies. And as always, consult your doctor for treatment options that could be right for you.
Thanks for joining us again, Dr. Nashi.
Thank you for having me.
Ever notice how kids sometimes complain about bad headaches, but it's hard to know what's really going on? Migraines are not just an adult problem. It affects millions of children and teens across the country, often impacting school, sports, and family life. Joining us this morning are Dr. Jennifer McVig, a pediatric neurologist at the Dent Neurologic Institute, and Lindsay Meng, whose teenage son lives with migraines, to share what families should know. Welcome, you two. How are you guys doing today?
Hi, thank you for having us. Great.
Good morning.
Dr. McVig, how common are migraines in children and teens, and what signs should parents keep an eye out for?
I'm glad you asked that question, Kayla. It's much more common than people think. It occurs in 1 in 10 of children and adolescents. And when kids will present with migraine, they could have light or sound sensitivity, nausea. They may vomit, but they don't have to. They typically have pain in the bifrontal area, so up in the forehead. It is of moderate to severe intensity and can prohibit them from doing, enjoyable activities with their friends or going to school and affect their academic performance.
That's really good to know. What kind of toll can migraines take on daily life? Things like school and activities.
So nowadays, if a child misses even just 1 day of school a week, this can severely put them behind in their academic progress. Even if they go to school, but they're not emotionally or physically present, they're physically present, but not intellectually present. So there's something called absenteeism and presenteeism. And so you may be present, but you just can't function because you can't concentrate or focus because your pain is so severe. So, when this happens, they might need accommodations at school, and then it snowballs into they're behind, and now they're stressed, and now the headache gets worse. And so preventing the headache is something that we are really focused on as a pediatric headache providers.
And Lindsay, how has migraines affected your son and your family's routine?
Thank you for that question. I will be sharing my story on behalf of Teva. My son started having migraine headaches during his elementary school years, but it was during his 4th grade year where we started to see them become more frequent. And at that time, we worked closely with our pediatrician to get linked to a pediatric neurologist. At that time, we started to look at possible triggers, preventative treatment options. We did find some preventative treatments along the way that helped, but nothing to the degree of what we are now seeing with the preventative treatment option of Ajovy. Prior to this treatment, my son would have 6 to 10 migraine headaches per month. Now, since he started Ajovy, he is now having on average 2 per month. So as you can see, that is a big change. In prior years, he's worried about having missed school events, sporting events, school in itself. And now we're at a point to where he doesn't have to worry. So that's a great point to be at in his life.
And Dr. McVig, there's been a recent FDA approval. What does that mean for families looking for treatment options?
I'm glad you asked that question too. So this was Ajovy was approved in August of this year, and this is a medication that has been around since 2018 for our adult patients. But now, as of August, this has been approved for children and adolescents, which are age 6 to 17 years old, that are struggling with episodic migraine, which is less than 15 headache days a month. This is a disease-specific medication focused on calcitonin gene-related peptide, or CGRP. This is a neuropeptide that our brains make, and some of us make a little too much of it, especially when we have headache. And this is an antagonist that blocks that temporarily. So this is a biologically driven or disease-specific medication that is tailored to address what we believe to be one of the biological drivers of migraine that has been available for adults, but is now the first and only treatment of its kind available for our pediatric population now.
So, Lindsay, what kind of difference has preventative treatment made for your son?
It's made a world of difference. I spoke to earlier a little bit on him having to miss school at times, sporting events, social events. And now we're at a point where he is only having around 2 headaches per month, and he doesn't have to worry or think about missing anything. So he can just go on being a teenager and having fun. So preventative treatment options, specifically this one, has worked so well for my son.
And where can families go to learn more?
A family or even a healthcare provider can go to Ajovy, that's ajovy.com, which is AJOVY.com, to learn more about this new treatment for pediatric episodic migraine.
I want to thank you two for being with us today.
Thank you. Thank you, Kayla.
Thank you.
Ever wish the holidays felt a little more magical and maybe meaningful? This year, America's #1 aquarium is lighting up the season with an immersive experience that shines a spotlight on conservation. We're joined by Misty Mitchell, Director of Conservation and Education Programs at Johnny Morris Wonders of Wildlife National Museum and Aquarium, live from Springfield, Missouri. Welcome to the show, Misty. How are you, my friend?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
No, I'm excited about aquariums, especially for the holidays. You're joining us live from this brand new Holiday Lights experience. What inspired Sea of Lights Enchanted Christmas?
Yeah, Sea of Lights Enchanted Christmas was inspired by Johnny Morris, his passion for connecting people to nature and the outdoors. Johnny Morris is the founder of Bass Pro Shops and a leading conservationist. As part of the Johnny Morris Conservation Foundation, we are dedicated to providing conservation outdoor experiences and connecting to the next generation of outdoorsmen. Sea of Lights Enchanted Christmas is going to bring the aquarium to an all-new glow holiday adventure, connecting people to conservation.
So what can guests expect to see on this journey? Are there any standout moments that we shouldn't be missing?
Yes, guests can expect to see and experience dazzling lights like you see behind me. You're going to hear festive music and holiday scenes throughout the entire aquarium tour, but you're also going to connect to conservation. The exhibit we can see today is Shipwreck, and you're going to see the neon corals. You're going to see the illuminated stingrays. And this is just one of 12 different exhibits that you're going to experience and really enjoy and learn about conservation. Here, we're going to learn about protecting marine habitats and the importance of artificial reefs.
And keep mentioning conservation. How does this event bring that mission to life, and why is that message so important right now?
Through our AZA accreditation, our immersive exhibits, our partnerships with leading conservation organizations, and hands-on educational programs. We are dedicated to conservation. It's our #1 mission. And the Sea of Lights Enchanted Christmas connects our guests with our conservation. These are our successful conservation initiatives like our Sea Turtle Research and Rehabilitation Center, and our programs, local and regional stream team cleanups and habitat restoration programs.
That is awesome. Where can our families go for tickets, hours, and maybe some more details?
Yes, to learn more and to buy tickets, you're going to go to wondersofwildlife.org/seasons. We hope to see every single one of you here at Wonders of Wildlife in Springfield, Missouri, celebrating the holiday season with us.
That sounds like a fun little trip. Thanks for joining us today, Misty.
Thank you, and have a Merry Fishmas.
Oh, you killed it. All right, you win. You win with that. Thank you. Have you ever dreamed of cruising with a little Hollywood flair? This one's for you. Princess Cruises just held a star-studded naming ceremony for its newest ship, the Star Princess, featuring none other than Camilla and Matthew McConaughey as godparents. From Sheryl Crow's live performance to a drone show lighting up the Florida sky, it was a night to remember. Here's a look. It was a night of music, lights, and a little bit of movie magic as Princess Cruises celebrated the official naming of its newest ship, the Star Princess, at Port Everglades in Fort Lauderdale. Grammy-winning artist Sheryl Crow took the stage, helping set the tone for a celebration that blended Hollywood glamour with a time-honored maritime tradition. The highlight came as Princess Cruises officially welcomed its newest godparents, Camilla and Matthew McConaughey, co-founders of Pantalones Organic Tequila, and now part of a legendary tradition that's included icons like Princess Diana, Audrey Hepburn, and Sophia Loren. Known for their warmth and creativity, McConaughey's perfectly capture the Princess Cruises spirit of life well spent, celebrating connection, family, and adventure. The evening built to the ceremonial bottle break, wishing good fortune for the Star Princess and all who will sail aboard her. Guests were treated to a dazzling drone show inspired by the Northern Lights, lighting up the Florida sky in true princess style. At more than 177,000 tons and designed for over 4,000 guests, Star Princess takes luxury at sea to the next level. She features 30 dining and bar venues, next-generation entertainment, and elevated spaces like the Sanctuary Collection, the Dome, and the Arena. Plus Spellbound by Magic Castle, a speakeasy experience created with Hollywood's famed Magic Castle. After debuting in the Mediterranean, the ship now begins her Caribbean season from South Florida, before sailing through the Panama Canal and on to Alaska. From world-class entertainment to unforgettable destinations, Star Princess is charting a bold new course for Princess Cruises. Learn more at princess.com. November is Alzheimer's Awareness Month, a time to shine a light on brain health and early detection. You know, more than 7 million Americans are living with Alzheimer's, and experts say nearly 80% of people would want to know if they were at risk before symptoms start affecting daily life. So joining us today is Academy Award-winning actress Julianne Moore, who's gained powerful insight in Alzheimer's disease through her Oscar-winning role in Still Alice, a movie I absolutely loved. She's here to talk about the Brain Health Matters campaign and why being proactive about our minds is so important. Welcome to the show, Julianne. How are you?
Hi, good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
I am struggling just to wake up, but I'm getting there.
Okay, good.
You're working with Lily on this new Brain Health Matters campaign. Can you tell us what this is all about?
Well, the campaign is really wonderful, actually. It's to encourage people to prioritize their brain health, to talk to their doctors about their risk factors for Alzheimer's, and to ask for a cognitive assessment. Because so often we don't prioritize our brain health. We're used to going for our physicals and getting our blood pressure taken, getting a mammogram, getting a colonoscopy. But the brain is the control center for the entire body. So why shouldn't we have a cognitive assessment when we go for our annual physical as well.
So why do you feel that it's so important to take early action, even when someone feels perfectly healthy?
I think the more you know about your own health, the better off you are, the more you advocate for yourself. As you just said, I think you just named the statistic that, 4 out of 5 people would like to know if they had Alzheimer's before symptoms started so that they could do something about it. And there are physical things that you can do that may mitigate symptoms. I mean, certainly there's a huge correlation between physical health and brain health. Sleep, exercise, diet, social engagement, learning something new, staying active, all of those things contribute to a healthy brain.
And you won an Oscar for Still Alice. I love that movie. It's a film that deeply explored Alzheimer's disease. How did that experience change your understanding of the condition?
Well, it's interesting that you said it deeply explored Alzheimer's disease, because what was really unusual about it was that it deeply explored Alzheimer's disease from the perspective of the person with the disease. So often we see these stories kind of told from an outsider's point of view, but this one put a person at the center of it. And really, I think for the person who wrote the book upon which the movie was based made the character younger. She had her have early onset, because so often people think that Alzheimer's is simply a condition of aging, that it's not a disease, when in fact it is a disease. So she really wanted to show the progression of the disease, and that it's not just about memory loss, but about function. And can be and can change things like our personality, our relationships to others, our ability to function throughout our life. So that was what was so unusual about the film.
And on a personal note, what do you think you do to take care of your own brain health?
I exercise. I do a lot of yoga. I eat pretty well. I try to learn new things. I try to make sure that I feel stimulated, and that even walking a different way, using a different hand when you're writing or eating. Anything that you can do that breaks up your routine is going to be stimulating for your brain.
Are there any projects or anything that you're working on lately that you could talk about?
I made a movie earlier this year with Jesse Eisenberg where I sang, and that was certainly very stimulating.
How did that go for you?
It was great. It was really, really fun. But one of the great things about being an actor is that you are challenged by new things all the time. So often the character will do something that you have no idea how to do, and suddenly you'll find yourself taking piano lessons, or learning how to rock climb, or just doing something completely different. And so I think that's one of the things I love the most about what I do.
All right. And finally, where can our viewers go to learn more about helpful resources for Alzheimer's and maybe some brain health?
There is a wonderful website, brainhealthmatters.com, and you can go there for more information.
Hey, you are a hero. I want to thank you for joining me today.
Thank you. So nice to talk to you. Thanks so much.
That's it for Rise Unwind. I want to thank you for tuning in and checking out the show. If you actually want to be on the show, go to our website. That's riseunwindtv.com. Fill out the form, send it on in, and maybe you could be on a future episode. We also are on social media. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. Plus, we have a YouTube channel. All of those can be found at Rise Unwind. Make sure you like, you comment, you share, subscribe, click the bell button. All the stuff that YouTubers say helps us out too. And until next week, that was Rise Unwind.